So tell me, what is Composers Concordance?
Composers Concordance is an organization that has brought many, many composers' works before the public, the concert to go in public. And we've been around now for 26 years. And mostly we've done, over those years, concerts in traditional concert halls and churches and such like. And we've given exposure to many different composers, usually with about 3 concerts a year, and been funded and had some distinguished composers as giving mentorship, people like Autumn Looning and Francis Thorne, people who've been on the new music scene for many years and influential people and such. And so we have kind of a track record, and within the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years, maybe even a little longer, have had a pretty dedicated audience who's come to the concert, so it's kind of built up to something. However, times change, and we want to change the ideas of the group for, let's say, the new decade, starting the 2010.
So Composers Concordance has been on the scene since
about 84.
1984.
Mm-hmm.
So now, after 25 years, new blood in the organization.
Exactly.
Going to hit the clubs.
We're hitting the clubs.
It's cheaper than buying a Porsche.
Definitely is. A lot more fun too. And so what we've done is, I knew Gene for quite a while through the American Composers Forum, and he was helping us, and then he became acquainted with Dan here, and so we kind of gone full circle. And we thought, well, this is a good opportunity to bring us all into this Composers Concordance, because it's kind of part of our past history and also going into the future. And so these guys have lots of ideas of what they want, how they want to take this group. A lot of new, invigorating ideas of concerts, how to do things economically.
And one of these ideas is a concert coming up on January 31st.
Exactly, and I will let them describe it.
Well, I had this idea for a long time about how composers play their own music. And I've always played my own music. I'm a guitarist. And when I actually got into conservatory, I saw a lot of the composers around me, they don't play their own music. So I was playing with this idea of getting a bunch of composers who I like as composers and as performers and getting them all on a concert. And I told this to Dan, and Dan said, why don't we make this a marathon concert? Because there's a lot of people that we know. So we decided, let's get a bunch of them. So we got 23 of them. And the idea of the concert is called Composers Play Composers Marathon. And the idea is to have composers write pieces, 4 minutes or less, in which they are one of the performers. And that was the idea for this concert, and we're going to do it on January 31st.
So that's us and 19 others.
That's us and 19 others who are not all here. So.
Have any composers had any problems with the 4-minute limitation, the on and off again of the club atmosphere that you know of?
Well, they haven't, because of the way that we chose these composers. And the way we chose them is I emailed in a random time and date over 200 composers, and in this email it just said exactly what I want from this concert. I want a composer, you have to play your own piece, you have to have the piece to be under 4 minutes, it has to be on January 31st, a drum, and you have to be there for sound check, all these little things. And if you agree to all this stuff, if you say yes, that's the last I want to hear about from you.
And so not necessarily solo pieces.
No, not,
as long as the composer is a performer.
Yeah,
in the
but I did say not bigger than trio.
Okay.
So I said solo to trio, and everybody agreed with it. Now I did have one person, one girl, I won't mention her, and she said, "Well, can I just send you an electronic piece?" Because she can't make the concert, and this is after she already said yes. I'm like, no, you have to be a performer, so I got rid of her. So we did have a couple of people who didn't exactly read all the rules. Another guy said my piece is like 6 minutes. I was like, please read the rules again, and they were fine. They just didn't read carefully. But
they just changed the tempo of their work.
They're just like, okay, but I just want 200.
How do you respond to the rumors that one of the originally scheduled composers had to drop out due to receiving a Grammy nomination?
Well,
we're all rooting for him.
We're all rooting that he...
We got good people,
man.
We got good people.
Oh.
Well, I think he got the nomination, and perhaps got a little busy with the preparation for receiving the award or whatever that entails, and decided that he will not be able to give his full attention to our concert, and I appreciate.
Well, let's just hope that it just paves the road for the rest of us.
I just hope there's a road.
Dan, so for the average guy, concert goer on the street, there's a lot of events to choose from these days. What would you say makes this particular event stand out from all the others? The guy who only has like, $10 plus 2-drink minimum
He's got
in his pocket.
Well, that's the thing about New York City, right? Is that there are always hundreds of things to choose from. So how do you choose? Well, I guess our event has some incredible talent on there. I mean, just any opportunity to hear Arthur play the guitar, for instance, Arthur Campela. We've always enjoyed hearing his concerts. The talent that'll be on stage and that will be represented in the compositions is really formidable stuff. Also, the venue itself is a very cool venue. Drom is the concerts that Gene has put together there and everything are always very exciting. And we've got other elements to the production as well that are really going to be spectacular. The video artist Astrid Steiner will be presenting projected images behind the stage and above the stage and so forth. And all of this put together is really going to make for an exciting event.
If people like multimedia, this is the place to be.
Yes.
Really, it's pretty cost effective at $10 too for a new music concert.
Yeah, how does that break down? Divided by 23.
Well, think of it this
50
way.
cents a composer only.
You can
less.
spend the same amount of money and go see 3 or 4 concerts on a program.
Yeah.
But if somebody really wanted to say this is a real New York City sampler of what's going on, for the same value, they'll be able to go and hear 23 composers.
That's right. It's cheaper than a movie, that's for sure.
Anything is cheaper than a movie in the
Wow.
city.
And there will be sex in it. Wait, cut that.